buliram. 1 tumbang, 2 tumbang, dan winner chicken dinner didapatkan oleh Alter Ego Limax, sebuah WWCD yang membuat kita harus mengatakan Alter Ego layak dan pantas ada di PMGC final.
Alter Ego, go go go! Luar biasa sekali pertunjukan yang ditampilkan.
Kami tidak pernah menyangka giliran ini akan datang. Didorong dengan dukungan dan harapan yang membuat kami percaya bahwa kami tidak sendirian. Kali ini bukan hanya tentang sekedar berjuang, namun untuk siapa kami harus menang. Untuk mereka, untuk kita, untuk Indonesia. Terima kasih untuk kesempatan ini.
Oh, sangat disayangkan ternyata Titan join fight di sini tidak hanya Alpha 7, hanya menyisakan satu yang terakhir Liquid. Low banget Liquid, granat. Oh, no, granat tersebut memulangkan semua pemain Bigetron.
Memang di fire karena bagian dalam dan ternyata di low karena ikut bisa berhenti masih berdansa ternyata terbait oleh tim Warp. Warp luar biasa sekali bisa melakukan bait karena bagian defense dengan sangat baik karena dia tahu di bagian dengan baik.
Untuk Genesis Toma ngeras maju karena bagian depan ibu-ibu beli beras. Ayo kita rush maju tembak dan ternyata malah box Devo down. Hanya terus ada Devo seorang diri saja. What happened? Sangat disayangkan.
Kita Indonesia.
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 Kita Indonesia. Indonesia.
Fast.
Yo. Hi guys, my name is Demrud and I'm playing for GigFam. So my name is Sandesh Pradhan. Hey Sandesh, you look good today and you taller just like me. So he's a really good player and he's also very handsome. They played really well in the league stage, but in grand finals it will be different. 42K, they play at the league very well too. They managed to come back. We'll see how they performance on the final. What we want, children, let's start. Shandis, yeah, don't bully me, okay? Okay, okay. I know you're good, but I'm better than you. Okay, we'll see.
Team match, let's go.
The blue team has scored for the first time. Set.
Nice try, bullying me. No!
Enemy down. No mercy. Enemy down. No.
Try.
Target down. Okay. Set. Nice shot. Kill.
Oh! Last point, last point.
Nice shot.
I ruined it. I'll come back next round. Let's go, Sandes. Let's see who's gonna win this. Why your M potato? Ah. Your M was good at first, but after that, potato. Okay, damn it, your turn. Show me what you've got. Okay, okay. Now, start. Okay. Oh my god. Good, good, good. More like that. Damn good. Oh, nice. I same point, but next combo I win. Me win. Okay. Unless I win. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. Let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
Kill.
Wow. GG.
Enemy down.
Nice. You almost got me. Almost? Where?
Clear. Clear. Clear.
Nice.
Set. Set.
I win one round, but I win 2 rounds, so this is your punishment. So I will pick 2 of this for you. Take it. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, game. Thank you. Congrats. So untuk 1v1 challenge tadi saya rasa excited lah sebab saya bantai dia kan. Saya saja bagi chance dia menang satu tadi. Saya buat dia happy. It was very fun. He's a really good player. I enjoyed it. So untuk Team 22K, good luck untuk game final. Make your country proud of you guys. So Geek fans, thank you for supporting us. Kami akan mengharumkan nama Malaysia dekat PMGC nanti. So jangan lupa untuk saksikan kami. See you in Jakarta. Will be better.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of the PMGC Grand Finals. Live from Jakarta, my name is Banks and I'm your host, and I'm joined on the main stage by my incredible co-host. It is of course Donna Visca.
Well, Banks. Halo teman-teman semuanya, selamat datang di hari kedua dari 2022 PMGC Grand Finals. Senang sekali saya Donna Visca bisa menjadi host kalian bersama dengan partner saya yang luar biasa hari ini, yaitu Banks.
Yesterday we kicked things off with 6 breathtaking matches, and today we are bringing you 6 more, and we cannot wait to see what our competitors bring to the main stage. And speaking of those performances, you know, I feel like if there's anything to go by from that, Donna, we are having high expectations for today.
Yes, indeed, Banks, especially with yesterday with Alpha 7, Inco Gaming, and also Influence Shaman managed to take top 3 position in leaderboard. They were really amazing, and particularly with Alpha 7, with that amazing performance, they are now at the top of the leaderboard with total 78 points. Amazing.
Ooh, that is right, Donna. But before we get things kicked off today, we have a very special performance for you.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Untitled Chapter and the Java Stunt Team for tribute to Bruce Lee martial arts stage performance.
Be the one!
Pria itu sangat lelah. Malam itu, dia terjaga sepanjang malam. Dan memikirkan apa yang harus dia lakukan untuk mengembalikan kepercayaan diri. Perlahan, samar pria itu mendengar suara seperti ada yang sedang melakukan bela diri. seperti yang pernah dikatakan oleh Master Bruce Lee.
Remember, success is a journey. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine. Always be yourself. Express yourself.
In yourself. Tiba-tiba 4 musuh datang dan menyerang mereka.
Thank you so much to Agnini Hack and the Java Stunt team for that incredible performance. It really was amazing. And now, as you can tell, we are no longer on the main stage. We are, in fact, standing in front of Inco Gaming's booth, the team who are currently sitting in second place in our leaderboard, Donna.
Yes, of course. Dan terima kasih banyak kepada Agnini Hack and the Java Stunt team atas performanya yang luar biasa. Dan teman-teman sekalian, kita sedang berada di depan dari Inco Gaming, yang dimana sekarang sedang berada di posisi kedua dari leaderboard, yang akan kita ajak ngobrol-ngobrol terlebih dahulu kali ya. Let's go.
So we figured as Inco Gaming are currently in second position in our leaderboard, we would like to have a quick chat with one of the players. So Nenebet, if you could come over here, that would be fantastic, and stand right next to me. We'd like to ask you a few questions about yesterday and obviously how you're feeling today going into day 2. So first of all, which team do you feel gave you the most trouble yesterday, and what are you guys going to do to prevent that from happening again today?
Então, vocês ficaram na segunda posição ontem, então ele está perguntando qual das equipas deram mais problema para vocês ontem e o que vocês vão fazer para melhorar isso.
Ontem, em específico, uma equipe que trabalhou bastante a gente foi a IHC, e hoje, para resolver esse problema, a gente vai matar eles.
So, like, for the special team that got them, like, more trouble was, like, a IHC, but, like, so for today, the plan is, like, to eliminate them early.
Oh wow, jadi tim yang kata Inco Gaming paling ngeribetin di hari pertama kemarin adalah IHC atau IHC. Dan pastinya plan mereka untuk hari ini adalah untuk eliminasi IHC as fast or as soon as possible. Wow.
One thing that we don't talk about enough as well about competing on the main stage is mindset. You guys need to have a clear mind, and so how do you and the rest of your team keep your composure and stay so calm when competing here?
Então, ele disse que a mentalidade durante o jogo é muito importante. O que você e a vossa equipa faz para manter a calma durante os jogos?
A gente respira muito fundo. A gente respira fundo.
So it's just like they breathe in a lot.
Breathing a lot. Oke, jadi untuk stay calm atau tetap tenang, mereka atur nafas sebisa mereka, semaksimal mereka sendiri untuk bisa mendapatkan atau memainkan game lebih efektif lagi setiap harinya. Well done.
Quite a hot topic at the moment as well is what is on everyone's minds as well. Right now in the leaderboard, the top 3 teams are all Brazilian. So is there anything that you would like to say to your companions from Brazil, but also your rivals while you're here competing?
Então, o que estão falando muito agora é que, tipo, o top 3 são todos do Brasil. O que você queria falar para as outras 2 equipas do Brasil?
Hoje, o mundo vai conhecer o poder do Brasil.
So he said like today the world will know like the power of the Brazilian teams.
Today what? Sorry?
The world will know like the power of the Brazilian teams.
Oh, oke. Jadi kata IHC hari ini dunia akan mengetahui power atau kekuatan dari tim Brazilian. Wow, luar biasa sekali. Let's go.
Nenebe, thank you so much for joining us in this pre-match interview. We wish you and the rest of your team all the luck that we can give you for the remainder of today and of course tomorrow. And hopefully you can raise that trophy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Donna, we are going to be closing in on our first match today, is that right?
Yes, I'm sure they are ready now, Banks. Jadi, teman-teman semuanya, sebelum kita mulai, kita panasin lagi kali ya, sekali lagi. Kita panasin lagi kali ya. So, Jakarta!
Are you ready? Let's head over to the analyst desk where they can break everything down before we go into our first match.
Jadi langsung aja tanpa basa-basi lagi kita langsung oper menuju ke analis desk kita untuk bisa break everything down. Jadi host dan juga analis kece kita silahkan.
Thank you so much, Banks and Donna Visca from the stage, and welcome back everybody to PMGC 2022 Grand Finals. My name is Felix, and I will once again be your desk host for the day. Before we get started, let me just tell you, the energy in here is absolutely electrifying. It is completely off the charts, and I'm so hyped to be here. And obviously, I have the honor to introduce you to these two beautiful analysts joining me today. One of which is Maxman, one of which is Seven Worlds Gaming. How are we feeling?
As you said, it's electrifying. So I think that we kind of like absorbed that atmosphere right now, Seven. I mean, we had a fantastic day one here in the Grand Finals, and if it's just even remotely close today, I'll be hyped, but we know that teams have made changes. Today is going to be even better than what we saw yesterday.
I already reached my step goals, and that was just from me jumping around before before the show started, because the Alter Ego fans were just getting absolutely insane, and I hope that we get to hear those chants. And as you were saying, a lot of teams are going to be adjusting. I can't wait to see who's going to be doing that.
It's so surprising because like they've been screaming for like 40 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know how they still have energy, by the way, but they're still going.
Speaking of energy, something that has a lot of energy as well. I love that transition, by the way. Sorry.
Good job.
Xperia 1 Mark 4. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Xperia 1 Mark 4 and Xperia Stream, which were co-developed. You can see these two products, by the way, right here, which are co-developed in collaboration with professional esports players. Play PUBG Mobile with Xperia Stream's total cooling system and multiple ports for intensive gaming and streaming, in case you want to share your highlights. And also, don't forget to check out Prime Gaming, another sponsor for this beautiful tournament here in Jakarta, Indonesia. So check out Prime Gaming. You will find lots of free content for all your favorite games, sometimes free games itself, and especially interesting to you guys at home playing PUBG Mobile, you will find free PUBG Mobile items at Prime Gaming as well. Make sure to check them out. Last but not least, another very important part of this PMGC 2022 Grand Final journey is PBESI, which is the local esports association in Indonesia. Thank you so much, PBESI, for supporting this tournament as well. Before we get back to analyzing and talking about the games that we saw yesterday, the 6 of them that we've had so far, make sure to check out the PMGC fan favorite vote. It is going on right now. You can see at the bottom of the screen right now as well. You are able to collect tokens in the Arangel map, and you can use them to vote for your favorite team inside the esports center. So make sure to just open your app and get right in there. And now, last but not least, follow us. Follow us on all the socials. It's as easy as that. Make sure to check out YouTube. Make sure to check out Instagram. Make sure to check out Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. We're on all of that. And the name across all boards is PUBG Mobile Esports. So make sure to follow our social channels.
If we could, we'll be on MySpace too.
Does that still exist? Well,
can't do that anymore.
Looking at a quick overview of what we have planned for today. You saw 6 matches yesterday. We'll have 6 matches today, 6 matches tomorrow. And you can quickly check out the total prize pool as well. $1.5 million will be given to the players in the Grand Finals alone, Max.
Yeah, as you know, that's half day rate for 7. So they're going to be making that.
Calm down, Jason.
Hey, I have to do a callback eventually, right?
Yes.
Of course, 6 more matches going to be happening today. So many opportunities for these teams now that we see on our screen, 7. To make these changes and climb up the rankings.
A lot of these teams definitely need to make some changes. I'm going to be looking at Star Wars. I'm going to be looking at Wolves too. Wolves actually made a bit of a change yesterday. You saw them starting to perform well. And I feel like the big one that I do want to see a change from is going to be Alter Ego. I mean, we've been seeing the crowd get hyped. It's actually a lot more packed there's a lot more energy here on day
yes.
number 2, and this team performed really well in the last match yesterday.
Well, we'll have to see if the changes are going to be happening here, but of course, looking at the top 4 fraggers of all of day 1 here, a lot of players tied up with that 13 elim. Seems like the lucky number for a lot of these players here going into that first day of play. But of course, Sandesh being one of the top fraggers, of course, meaning that he's up there because he also has more damage overall and more knocks, has been able to just perform so well for T2K. That their big second place game, they got how many? 16 eliminations, I believe it was one of our top fragging games of all of that first day, and he was the one to stand out the most. I would love to see them try and replicate that in this day.
100%, and then we go to, I mean, top damage. It has to be Alpha 7 with the way they were able to perform. They did kind of fall off a little bit there in the last 2 matches, but I think they're going to be able to come back in hot today at the start. 1,246 average damage. It's absolutely insane. Inku Gaming as well, but what I'm actually surprised at here is we have IHC, and we heard Inku Gaming talking about them, so I wonder how that dynamic is going to be playing out today. And last but not least, you do have SCG.
Yes, and that is especially surprising to me because SCG was one of the teams that we talked about had the least impact in terms of eliminations inside these games. Still putting out that amount of damage. Is that surprising to you, Max?
The thing is, as you said, right, they got themselves a lot of placement points, but I think that what we did see towards the end is they were trying to step up their aggressive game, right? They were very clearly like, okay, we've got a lot of placement points, we need to shift things up. Then they got eliminations, and then get placement points. So like, you need to find that middle ground to some extent, but a lot of that damage coming out from SGG was from that second half of the day. If they find that middle ground 7, I'd have to say SGG could be looking amazing in today's 6 matches.
SCG, I mean, I have them as my top 5. I'm hoping that it ends up happening. I feel like they showed the potential yesterday in certain matches that they can get that fragging power, but I mean, I'm just going to be repeating what you just said, which is pretty much they need to find that happy place between placement and also eliminations.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights that we saw from yesterday's game. Starting off with game number 1, an A7's absolute mad push. I believe it was Ravo getting not only 1 but 2, maybe even 3 kills in that quick succession.
Yeah, we didn't have even time to talk about it, but on the top fraggers, like, he had also 13 eliminations. Revo, I mean, this guy just stepped up. He also had so many individual players from just Brazil as a whole, with like Vitaly in particular. They showed up on a singular play and also as a team.
And I'm so glad you brought up Vitaly, because I actually wanted to mention we saw 13 eliminations out of him. And if I'm not mistaken, those 13 eliminations actually came in the first 2 games. After that, he wasn't really able to get any
vacation.
Yeah, he was like, you know what, let me just lay back, relax. In the first game, he ended up with 7 elims. In the second game, he ended up with 6. So I'm hoping a bit of more of a consistent game out of them. And I mean, you saw Alpha 7. You were talking about it yesterday too, how well they played Sandhawk, that they ended up winning.
And that 2-1-1 split was just something of absolute beauty. But then I think this is the moment right here where we had the entire crowd just go, whoa! Yeah, like they just lit up instantly, where they just cleared that team almost instantly. He's got himself a good clear on Nova later on down the line, but overall, Alpha 7, it was their day almost the entirety of those 6 matches. And the question is now, who can beat them in these matches today?
And I think for me, it's going to be SGG. And SGG, going back to what you were saying, if they can find a happy place between those placement points and also the eliminations, they can maybe go up above Influence Cayman. And then you have T2K. I mean, you mentioned it too. 16 eliminations for that team in 1 game with the second place finish. They definitely showed that potential. You've been mentioning, you can see this, Alpha 7 at the top, 78 points. Inco Gaming, 69, nice. Influence Cayman, 54 points. I mean, these teams are doing good, and what I want to see out of SGG Esports and T2K, I hope they get a win today.
You know what? Normally I like to have a little bit of a friendly competition with you, 7 of who we're going to be predicting in the top 5. You said Brazil, you said SGG. That's a 4 out of 5 ratio right now. I gotta say, you're on point this season. And we'll see if it's still the case at the end of the day.
To be fair, I only had 2 Brazilian teams. Okay, so I'm actually surprised that it's doing this well. But then if we go towards the bottom right, we saw IHC there, and now we go towards the second page for Angry Man. This was a team that showed a lot of great play yesterday, and they especially started picking up on the second half of the day. And when we talk about picking it up, I mean, we gotta talk about Fireflux Esports.
Fireflux Esports with that 1 chicken dinner. The thing is, a lot of their points came out from that 1 singular chicken dinner. You're looking at their ranking points. You take out 15, they only got 3 more placement points left. We need to see consistency from this team to climb up and hopefully be in that top 5 position at the end of today.
Absolutely. Kind of the same thing could be said about Wolves. They had 2 back-to-back last places in round 2 and round 3, so the inconsistency here really needs to be fixed. Looking at Inco against INF, interesting statistics.
Yeah, interesting statistics. I mean, that average elimination when you're looking at 5 is just something of absolute beauty when you're looking at it. At this level of competition in PUBG Mobile Esports, having a 5 average elimination per game is absolutely mental. The question is, of course, as you mentioned, can they keep it up today? If they do, man, they're looking like they're not going to budge from those top positions.
And what was crazy to me, and I mean, they did have 2 games yesterday when they ended up in 15th place and in 16th place. And as we go to the top Erangel performance here, there's no surprise. I am a little bit surprised to not see Alpha 7 here. It seems like they were performing better in Miramar and obviously in Sandhawk when they ended up getting the win. DRS, we know we've been wanting to talk about that team. That team showed up big time in the first game yesterday, and after that, I just felt like they disappeared.
Yeah, will they play the next games? I don't remember. Yeah, a bit brutal. But yeah, that first game was fantastic. We need to see more of the essence of that game in the other ranking, in the other matches. If so, we could see Nepal step up big time. We want to see DRS at the top of the leaderboards eventually.
Yep. Quickly looking at what we're going to see today. You already saw it, but it's going to be the normal rotation that we saw yesterday as well. Starting off with Erangel, Miramar, Sandhawk, and then the same thing except Sandhawk is switched out for Erangel in the end. Exciting games that we have seen yesterday. A storyline with the whole Brazil region coming on clutch in the last games as well.
I'm sorry. Wait a second. Did
Tell
you
me
just
about
say?
Oh, that is just
Did
cheeky.
you just say Brazil? Listen, I don't get to do this often. I don't get to brag this much because this team, the region usually lets me down a little bit, okay? But they're doing so well that I had to bring out the flag and just showcase it. Soak it in. Vamos Brasil, muito amor.
I think I'll have to give that to Blank. It was a bit cold. I think you're right.
I'll
you're
give
right.
it to him.
Yeah.
He's screaming already forward. Coming to the teams to watch, and I'm especially interested because you keep saying you're all about Brazil. Do we have a lot of Brazil teams on you? No, not really. It's only A7 now.
Yeah, it's only A7, and that's because they are currently leading. I felt like they definitely dropped off in the last 2 games yesterday. I want to see how they're going to be coming out. And because I have Nova, they usually tend to bounce back in day number 2. In IHC, I have them because we were talking about this too, and I know that you have them too. They got a win yesterday, and if you remember, they didn't get a win at last chance.
Really, when I saw Zol get himself that 1v1v1 clutch at the end towards those last matches, I was having like callbacks to almost 2 years ago PMGC Grand Finals when he was playing with Zeus. It was so hype. I want to see more of that. But actually, back onto Nova, I think you had a talk with Powerboy, right? About where he was hoping to be at the end of today.
Yeah, so I went up to him. I was like, do you think you're going to... I expect you to be at least top 3. He's like, you know what? Top 5. And then he was like, actually, top 3. So the confidence is there.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it has to be specified. He means that for today. For today, top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I was completely surprised right there because you said top 5 to 3. Either way, we'll be getting into the first game of day number 2. John Allen and Blank are standing ready at the commentary desk, and we are heading right there.
No messing. We're going right over here. We are going to be taking it in to game number 1 here for PMGC 22 finals in Jakarta. It's been such an electric atmosphere in the auditorium so far today. It has been phenomenal to watch, Blank.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a little bit chilly. I'm still.
You're right.
Oh, the heat coming off this region, though, right now. It's bringing me heat. It's bringing me warmth. The top 3, they're looking for a little bit more. I'm steaming. I'm steaming right now with this on. I'm happy days. Anyway, let's keep this on for a little while longer. But heading over to the venue right now, checking out the players, checking out the watchers, the audience in tow. Happy days. All in all, this has been a fantastic time. I'm really happy with the way this whole tournament's turned out so far. We've had a beautiful amount of turnout, just in terms of audience, just in terms of the amount of people that are here cheering. The audience is absolutely electric. And I don't think we could have asked for a better day 1 with a very surprising turnout with that 1-2-3 over in Brazil.
Excellent performance, not only from the teams, but from the crowd themselves. I think that's a big part of it. Sure, the national team that is here for the region, they might be at the bottom of the tables, but they are at the top of the tables when it comes to that support, which is phenomenal to see.
Yeah, I mean, I did get to actually speak to Denny earlier, the coach from Alter Ego, and what I was telling him was that, like, it kind of looks like this is a team that qualified through a real bracket to get here. I don't think they're in that point in time where it looks like they're completely lost, completely broken. I do think that when you see them, they're making the right moves. It's kind of those little things that are off, and I think that's to be expected with this kind of stage, this kind of level. And I think for Alter Ego, just getting out that 16th place would be a massive boost to their confidence today, and I think they can do that if they can continue with this good game sense. They just need to bring up that skill level in terms of the mechanical play, those team fights. And yesterday we saw them take out Nova in that 4v4, which is not easy to say the least. So I think that confidence is really something that is maybe holding them back a little bit, but we've seen it come out now and again, and it works. So maybe you just need to relieve that pressure, and relate to what Nenebete was saying in the case of just breathe, keep it calm, keep it cool. It's what you've got to do in the PMGC. With this being a sprint, 3 days only, you have to keep that cool a lot of times.
Plane path for match number 7 here at the Grand Finals. Goes north to south. Again, we've seen fairly fair plane paths over the course of the entirety of yesterday. We're going to continue that trend today, it seems, to kick things off here for our first Erangel match of the day, the first of 6 matches that we'll be seeing.
Absolutely, John. I think that's something that's been really interesting to watch, and in the case of, like, there's no one that can really go out after these games have concluded on the old Instagrams, on the old socials, and say, look, this team didn't deserve that win. They were gifted it, they had the best position in terms of playing path, in terms of circle. I think everyone's had to really work for their position on the map, and they certainly will have to here. This doesn't really favour anyone at all. It's a difficult circle to play. This could be heading over towards Yasnaya, in which case we have that finish over in the compounded area, which currently Influence Kemen very happy about. And this is the first time we're seeing this circle up towards that northeastern side, and with those statistics coming through, showing that Influence Kemen is the best team so far on Erangel, despite having one of the lowest damage numbers here out of those top teams. This could be a really, really good chance for them. Inco, though, we know how they do. Already sending their way up towards that northern side of the map, that northeast side, to get a position, to get placement, and go from there.
Just getting those vehicles first on board, and Inco will be moving a little bit further. In Alpha 7, our current leaders with a 9-point lead against Inco will be on that northwestern side and trying to get as much loot as they can. And if you guys are trying to get as much loot as you can at home, make sure you're checking out the 2022 PMGC Special Crate, available until January the 8th.
We know with the way I've been seeing these players in game, I'm very jealous of these outfits at the moment. Probably one of the coolest PMGC skins, in my opinion. So get them while you can. Only available until January 8th. So the time is running out right now. Just one more day. So make sure you can grab them whilst you can. Maybe, I think at this point in time, it is just one more day, depending even on time zones. You got to be quick, guys. You got to be snappy on that store. Pick up those crates and get going. Specifically, for a lot of these teams, they're going to have to be snappy inside this lobby too. With the circle being where it is, a lot of these teams over towards that western side will have to make some moves fairly quickly. I'm looking particularly over towards 4AM, A7, Fireflux, IHC, all clumped up towards North George and South. Got Fireflux currently making their way down that western coastal side on yellows. It's a great place to pick up some more vehicles. Unfortunately, it's only 2 players at the moment. I imagine they'll grab one, head back up towards Ketch and Lutz, which is not a bad idea whatsoever because that's going to give you more time. Even if you only have 2 vehicles, having 2 players in crates gives you a phenomenal amount of loot early on, which means when they do head towards the circle, yes, they'll have to move soon, but at least they'll have some gear to do it with.
Fireflux 2 and 2 on the west coast. We saw Buradam rotating 2 and 2 on the east side, probably going towards Lipovka, which is just on the edge of this first zone. So we'll see a little bit of looting going on there. Inco breaking north with some of their players as well, moving up to that east side of Yasnaya, and Influence Kemen not wasting any time. Sending a player up north. Kaiowski going to mount up towards the top of Stalber Hill, maybe even break as wide as Kameshki.
It's a really interesting meta that Inco is kind of bringing out these days, because I no longer think that Inco has this set drop spot anymore. For them, they have generalized position where they'll drop on the map, but that's not their spot entirely per se. It's just a case of this is where they'll begin their journey. A lot of times this is more of a case of dropping on top of vehicles, because they instantly send it towards a position where they can start to play out the rest of the game a lot easier for themselves. It does mean that they get quite a lot of trash loot. We saw this towards of the end game of the final game yesterday, where, you know, IHC did have that absolute blinder of a match. But when you saw Nenebet, he was having that one shotgun available, practically nothing else on board.
T2K rolling up on the rotate, and it's 1-for-1 on the trades right now, but IHC are giving them a little bit of hell here. Legend taken down as well. Was this IHC trying to turn it around? A drop shot not good, and there's a sliver of HP on the inside. Oh, it's all coming apart. Godless bites back after losing a teammate to a knock. Alex is going to be happy to have had him at his side.
T2K certainly feeling Godless right there. No miracle from above to save them from that devilish presence. Seriously good stuff. Very snappy too on the flicks there from Godless. T2K looking for a little bit of revenge from match 6 yesterday and are unable to find it even though they did have the drop. 4 AM. Ching Chen maybe looking for a couple of shots, and right now IHC are just a little bit tight at the moment. They're all hunkered up. This could be a recipe for disaster. There is a vehicle on the outside. Ching Chen right now starting to move out. 4 AM maybe hoping to get ahead of the pack here. They realize they do need to get further in. They made their sprint nice and early over from North of George. They were ahead of A7. We're still over towards Zaki side.
Influence Kevin at the top of Stalber now. T2K, they lost the majority of their players there, but they still have one. And they'll be in the hills on the ridge sides on the west of Stalber. Playing on as far as they can do. 5th place right now, 51 points, so T2K having a pretty solid day 1 overall. Not a great way to start their day 2. Geek Fam, 7th place on the tables, very, very close by as well. From 4th all the way down to, I would say, 9th, there is that sort of clear bracket. Probably 8th, you could probably cut it out at, but it is looking like you have that central pack. If they can catch up to Inco and Alpha 7, fantastic, but there is that little bit of argy-bargy going on. 5 points from 3rd down to 8th.
I think it's a case of a lot of these teams having a great opportunity to actually move their way up on the leaderboard. Inco, again, set themselves up nice and early down towards that eastern side of Yaz on some really nice compounds, highly elevated too, so it's going to give them so much information. Kind of banking on this central spot over towards the eastern side. I think the circle, it could outplay them, right? It could head up towards that northern side, but they're playing the numbers game at this point in time. And for Inco, they can play the numbers game all day long. I think for them, it's really these blast out games that are super beneficial for them. They do taper off sometimes, though we have seen them start off very slow and then ramp up towards the end of the day. It's the only thing that really worries me about Inco. I think A7 has that kind of consistent streak where they get that momentum on board and it's good to go. And I think if we see Alpha 7 have a good game at the start of the day right now, could be very scary for a lot of the rest of the lobby. You were talking about some of these teams down towards the bottom side. I think it's still very malleable, like you said. You know, even down to, goodness me, 11th place, right? Because you're looking at this bracket, which is very, very slim. And just a big game like that could set you upwards towards that top side. So at this point in time, very, very likely that we'll see some big changes today in terms of the leaderboard. We could see some very surprise numbers on the leaderboard as well. Nova being down towards the bottom is a little bit worrisome. However, for Nova, we were just talking to some of their fans, some of the people who have known them for a long time. They do have the chops on them to bring out an insane couple of days, which would send them right towards the top. We've seen them do it before, and it's always terrifying to see Nova get on that streak.
Circle popped on the east side, does keep a little bit of water out on that east coast as well, but does allow teams to make that call, that decision to leave from Stalber, to move past Yasnaya, away from those fields. So a lot of teams can make a lot of decisions, and when a lot of teams are making a lot of decisions, that means a lot of rotates are coming into conflict, and that's exactly what's happening with IHC and Influence Kemen, as well as Buradam and the home ground team. Alter Ego. At the moment, it's going 1 for 1, 2 go down for Alter Ego. And Ponbit now left last standing for the squad. A little bit too far to do too much here, but Buradam are still taking heavy punishment.
Yeah, again, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the day. It's that team fight that really is the problematic for AE. You can see that they're making all the right moves, all the right decisions. They don't seem lost, they don't seem hopeless, but it's that extra little bit of PMGC power that they are missing at the moment. Hopefully they can bring that back on board. The home ground fans, they get to cheer them on a little bit more. Right now, Ponbit, last member, not always the worst thing in the world, can hide out for quite some time, maybe get towards those top positions. Inco, though, seem to know something that everyone doesn't right now about these circles. They have a very, very good handle on where these are going to end up, where the center's going to be. They're a little bit down towards that south side. I wouldn't say that mattered. I think heading up towards the north isn't really ideal in terms of positioning. Right now they have a very, very strong spot and a strong base of operations to play from. Just in terms of scouting, just in terms of getting that information on board, this is really good for them.
Put it on 3 after their engagement. Fairly centrally on this circle. S2G further north. They did spot out a player, I believe, from Influence Kemen, but that did get rezzed from down the hill. Vampire have not had the most successful of days from the glory that they found in PMWI. It has been a little bit of a fall from grace in their regional stage and the group stages earlier this in December back in 2022. It wasn't the Vampire that we were expecting to be able to come into this one, but they still have a little bit more time. You talked about Nova being able to put up massive performances towards the end, to in those small day frames. Hopefully Vampire can have that resurgence as well.
That would be ideal. It would be good stuff for Vampire. I think if you look at their December performance as well, it wasn't exactly what we wanted to see from them, but there were certainly those moments where it felt like they really had that go time on their shoulders, and it was a case of we just need to qualify, so we're going to pump those points up, play how we usually see them play. I think for Vampire, it's just finding that rhythm, finding that movement that works so well for them. At the moment, it feels a little bit awkward. Not quite there as of yet. Geek Fam gets some gear delivered from on high. Yuhai does not want it though. Sends right past, tries to get a little bit further in towards a compound to play from. 4AM, however, snuck their way in from that north side. Really good stuff from them. Considering they're over in North George, they've made a very apt rotate. The difficulty now for them is that they're surrounded by a lot of teams, but getting into this position without taking any knocks is very impressive.
Fireflux on the south side, coming into conflict with Vampire. With Vampire on the lead in terms of their position, could prove to be a little bit sticky. Inco still very central. North side, Alpha 7 behind the queue for Influence Kemen, and outside of the circle, quite a few teams going to be looking to push in from that northern side. S2G, though, they've made it up to this cliff face. Stalwart want to back them off, but that's easier said than done.
Stalwart. A nice spot for them. Up on high, Silas moves up. Tries to gather a little bit of this information. Very good angle, though, coming through from Scry in the back there with the DP. It's going to be hugely difficult now for S2G to crest this one. Not only with Stalwart in the way, but you're also looking at 4AM. This does make this quite the difficult exit. Luckily with the circle, they've got a lot of time to work with. A lot more time for Stalwart and 4AM to even cross paths, cross blades. I think that's the time that S2G is waiting for.
Silas peeking up, getting a little bit bold with it. Can't really afford to go down, but they do have enough cover to drop him back towards the rest of the team in the position that they're in and should be resable, even if he does get knocked here. Losing Ray Z, though, for S2G leaves them only at 3, so they can't really afford too many slip-ups here if they want to carry on forwards. Nova spread out wide right now on this southwest side. Vampire looking to try and push between Paraboy and Order's position and Frozen's outpost on the south side. But it looks like they might have been spotted. Shots certainly been popped off. And there we go, Pika on the east coast, spotting out Hamzy down the hill.
Yeah, it was really only a matter of time. I think the Stalwart getting rid of this opponent at the moment would be very, very useful. A very good grenade. Popped maybe just a bit too early there. That could have been the 1-2 punch. Silas drops up, tries to send this player a little bit further back. Pika getting a little bit too big for his boots here, and Silas wants to let him know that it's not going to be all rainbows, just moving over this top side to quickly take position. In the meantime, S2G will restabilize. Stalwart's moved a bit further up, though. This is an excellent compound for them to play from. DRS, I haven't talked about them too much, but right now have a fairly good compound over towards that eastern side. Unfortunately, it is just a little bit out of the way. With a massive ridge over towards their west, they are kind of cut off from a lot of the action. It's going to keep them safe for a long while in the game, so we can expect high ranking from them.
You could see there that S2G were very, very worried about their northern flank, and for good reason. There's still a lot of teams yet to push in from that direction, and they'll have to wait and see what they can find. Order spots out a central position for an Anabete, and they're looking to put the pressure onto Squash as well. Order lighten them up. Becca not really in a position to get an answer shot back. Inko still at 4 alive with Vitali half HP down the hill. Vitali was a massive factor for them in yesterday's games, hopefully able to put up that performance again. Oh dear. Up goes the vehicle, and Geek Fam cut Influence Kevin in half.
The Malaysian team, specifically Yuhai, currently on loan from BTR, has been absolutely fantastic for Geek Fam so far. And up in smoke goes Influence Kemin. Not the ideal start for them, considering they were on the warpath to try and ladder up just a little bit to face their Brazilian brethren towards the top of the table, second and first, respectively. Nova, though, great spot over towards Inko. It's difficult not to take shots from that position that Inko's currently holding in. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. Nova, on the other hand, a lot of position taken early. You did mention this. And I think for them, they were able to find the ideal spot for themselves just purely off the back of that scouting, off of that rotating, and just being comfortable playing as a solo.
T2K cut down mostly by IHC, but S2G let him go right into the water there. Don't even take the shots that are going to get the knock. Allow the player to play that close position. Geek Fam rolling up towards IHC. There's already been a knock this way. S2G should have a little bit of oversight onto this fight. The smoke is there giving them some cover, but IHC are crumbling here under the pressure from Geek Fam. And Geek Fam take them down. The Malaysian squad up to 5 eliminations now, with Yuhai needing to hit the deck and get some healing done. Across the way is the remnants of Influence Kevin. Alpha 7 trying to rock up, and it's not going well. 1, 2, 3 players falling, and Alpha 7 coming apart at the seams as well. One player now remains for them, as Lil Boy looks for the res over onto Federal.
4AM assisting on that fight, but an incredible hold there from the final 2 players from Influence came in. Lil Boy showing what he's worth, and he certainly is worth a lot for the team. Done some really good work, and for Alpha 7, this is a case of that moving a little bit too late. They took their time over towards North George, maybe expected 4AM to stick around a little bit longer, was hesitant to send eastwards. 4AM had already left, and you can see how much this has benefited them on the circle here towards that northern side. We'll have to move down. Our DRS position becomes far more valuable. For Wolves, we haven't talked about them too much at the moment, but this is a strong spot. Have high ground. This would be a great chance for them today to really bring things back up to speed.
The Chinese team's not performing to the caliber that we maybe expected coming in from the PEL. Well, they do still have that opportunity, and Svan shows us just how much they're willing to take that. Top takes a knee, should be resable, but still. A nice little opening there for four Angry Men on that northern side. Still, a lot of players to push in from this northern edge.
I am not immune to caster cursing, but yesterday I was talking about 4AM quite a bit. I still think this team has one of the best chances out of the Chinese teams to really make a breakout for that top 5 today. Purely off the back of just watching back the VODs yesterday and looking at certain positions that they took around the circle. Highly tactical, very cerebral. It looked good. They were in the right places at the right time. Not necessarily always winning those engagements, though. They still have that firepower to boot. So I think for 4AM, this could be a very good day. Still reasonably consistent yesterday. They do need to get a few more points on board. Ching Chen looks down towards Geek Fam. Lights him up, big style.
Oh, they are just not going to stand the test there. Unfortunately, Geek Fam eliminated. 5 eliminations into the mix, though. It's not an awful result for them. And in the meantime, Influence Kemin also full, so just Inko stands of the Brazilian top 3. 4 players alive for them. You said it was precarious, the position that they had. A little bit of a Hail Mary, potentially. But they have now managed to outlast everybody else that's surrounding them on those tables. So can they just keep themselves together at 4 and get deep into the game?
Still, 0 eliminations. Still 12 teams in the lobby. There's a very high chance right now that Inko is one of the teams at risk. AE also with just Pombit remaining. Very at risk. But I think for Inko, one of these top teams, it's going to be a difficult push for them. A lot of open space around them. You can see they're already being harassed. Nova's got a great bead onto this position too, and they'll be continuing to watch down over towards it. Jimmy, Scouts out just a little bit, gets some shots over his way. Unfortunately, Pombit will fall to Inko. First elimination of the game found.
Puts them up to that 70-point mark. They're now 8 points behind Alpha 7 on their run here. 11 teams remain, 34 players. So we've seen quite a few casualties so far. DRS, 4 Angry Men, Inko, Stalwart currently with 4 players alive. If Nova can get the res, then they'll join them. And it looks like they will be able to do so. Fireflux on the south side. Took some punishment earlier on their rotations. But Nova are looking to make sure that they feel it a little bit more. Wolves, they have lost a player, sure, but they're still on that high ground position.
The issue with this high ground spot is that it's very open. I think getting here early on, sort of forced to play this spot, but you have to play it very aggressively. And looking at Wolves yesterday, I don't think they have that strength, that power to really push out from this position to start blasting. Next circle moves back over towards Inko, in fact. This is a great chance for them to continue, to stay strong. Nova, in fact, pushed out just a little bit, and this might be time for Inko to pull out those DMRs they currently have in the pocket. Sends some shots back across. You can see there the Mini 14. I think I saw an SKS as well.
Seems that they are maybe potentially a little bit low on meds. You talked about how they trash loot quite a lot. They have taken quite a beating so far to stay alive in their position, so maybe they're trying to save those meds for a little bit later on. A lovely nade over the top, a lot of damage, but doesn't get the knock from Calci. S2G trying to put hurt in towards the health bars of 4 Angry Men, but the repositions are good. The smokes are there. They're looking to try and flow around this side.
Yeah, this is smart, to be honest with you, because 4M's compound currently is locked away from STE. They won't be able to engage on this fight. So for S2G, they've identified this is probably the only play they have. For 4AM, they need to react to this soon. It's a great nade on the top from Ching Chen. Perfectly placed. They're out in the open. They could have taken the shots, but a nade like that will do the trick massively.
It's unlikely that 4 Angry Men are going to get that flush there, but there is a lineup coming through. There's nades. Hang on a minute. Svan just launched one over the top at S2G. Pulled down there into the depths. No more will we see the team from Turkey in this game. And now Inko on the western coast have Buradam to deal with as well. South side being pushed in by DRS. And the Wolves up the top have Nova to deal with as well.
You're going to love this play from DRS. I mean, they knew that this position would afford them time and capability. They've remained patient. Now it's going to start paying dividends towards the end of the game.
Long nade there. Nearly tags Svan, but escapes with nary a tickle. Tiger behind the buggy for Buradam. 2 players remaining, one of whom is down already, so Tiger the last standing. The last player from T2K, speaking of last standing, right behind S2G. You've got to think the 4 Angry Men do not know that there's a player nearby. Maybe they think this has come from Stalwart. Are they going to check this angle? Ching Chen seems to have jumped out on the ridgeline, but he's spotted, and that's Action taking him down. So still, T2K have not had to stand up and go for this peak, but now is the time to strike. Good Xiao on the inside, looks for the challenge. Oh, a spray around from WWX. There's only one player now to deal with. In through the smoke. You chuck your right flank, but it's not going to happen. Good Xiao keeps 4 Angry Men in this, but Stalwart are not going to let the pace up. Oh, look at this. Is there. The Molotovs are good, and they can start to rain hell down from above.
This is disgusting. Stalwart took their chance, but T2K might have just ruined the chances of 4AM here. If they can get all players back up on their feet, perhaps they can restabilize this one, but that was looking very nasty. And Good Xiao even puts the shot in towards the UAZ, just in case there's any more bullets coming their way. Scry, though, look at this. Has the nade. It's a pretty easy shot for them. Has to assume that they haven't gone out yet. It's a little bit long, but another one still on the pin.
Mercifully, the blue zone stops there and allows them some sanctuary, but Scry,
that could be the 4K.
Wants to turn this cover into their coffin. It could absolutely, but didn't want to pull the pin on it. They're going to give that one back, and 4 Angry Men allowed another opportunity. 7 eliminations, and all 4 of them somehow are still alive, but they have to move further south.
It is a really tough position to kind of counteract that one, because you get the instant flush on that second grenade from Span. You assume that that's that team done, but no. Not the way it is. Wolves, though, find one over towards Fireflux, leaving them down to just the 2 players. One now.
Catch on the hillside. After Fireflux lost a couple earlier, they've just been picked down, pushed around on the south edge. DRS continue their pressure, continue their chokehold as they continue their approach as well, but they are not in this next circle. They will have to take the 4v3 with Ketch as a wildcard entrant. Nova ahead of the curve on that western side will stop any retreat from Wolves.
They're locking them in. Good smokes here from 4am. I know right now for them it's just getting into this circle. Stalwart in a similar position, but they haven't covered to play around with. 4am were forced to take all their vehicles out of the mix, out of the picture, to prevent being exploded. And Stalwart's just had insane oversight over 4am since the beginning. But again, they're looking for a longer game here. That's brilliant from Gutsiao. That's going to give them time, and time is what they need.
And there was a second knock as well going over towards Stalwart from Svan. Really nicely found now. DRS are going to try and mount this assault onto the Wolves' position, but it is not going their way. Remember, will be the last player standing. It's 1-for-1. Oh, and Nade takes his teammate right out from underneath him. Sweeps the leg. A crawl forwards from Delta to get the information as Rules gets healed on up. They spot the player down in the ditch, but he goes for the player to flush. And it's the Wolves to stay alive with one.
Great stuff there from the Wolves. Unfortunately, just one player remaining, and Nova currently at 3 eliminations, looking to take this all the way. Svan hits the deck. 6 teams remaining, would like to go a little bit longer here. Ching Chen, as well as Gutsiao, looking to finish off the remaining players from Stalwart, all in his lonesome as 2. He brought 4am back into the mix versus T2K. Can he do it again here versus Stalwart?
Around the side of the rock, spots a tail there.
Oh,
but
no!
will be shut down. Excellent moves from Pika to be able to keep them alive. But there is the Wolves yet again, lighting it up here in Jakarta.
Remember, still going strong here. Nova, though, looking to have that resurgence today. Always terrifying. Yeah, one day, they get the VODs in, they make the changes. That's when things start to pop off. 10 eliminations now for 4am. Ching Chen still going. And in the top 5, this is going to be a big game for them regardless.
And Inko is still alive as well. What a way to survive it. I mean, they've just been chilling so hard right now on this western side. Everybody else has been fighting over the coastal areas.
You know, with the amount of players they have and the position they're holding, it's very likely that they could pick up a chicken dinner here. In Inko fashion, a big win at the start of the day to see them nice and healthy.